What's up, everyone? Welcome back to You're Such a Nerd, the Geek Variety Podcast, coming at you at the speed of swarming bees, looking at tattoos some dicks. Who's first in line? It's not going to be me, because I'm your host, Johnny Doe. Let's go. Welcome back to the show, everyone. If you're new, welcome. If you're an old pro, welcome back. Today we'll be having a lovely conversation with B about being an artist, a woman in gaming, streaming, and the current state of Destiny 2. And you may be asking yourself, wait, what is this? What's going on? What world am I living in? 2 main episodes back to back? Yes. And that's a reasonable question to ask. No, we're not going weekly at this point, though I would love to. However, due to the timeliness of some of the content that we're talked about today, I wanted to get it out to you before some of the drops and things that are happening with Destiny 2. So you'll be all up to speed with what's happening next week. So have no fear. Critics Corners will be back next week in place of the main feed. And then we'll get back on normal rotation after that. So, in the meantime, if you'd like to support the show, we have a Patreon at a very reasonable rate. It's linked in the show notes below, wherever you're listening to this. Being a member of the Patreon will get you access to all the ad-free episodes you can handle, both of the main feed and the additional content like Critic Corner and Hobby Hangouts. And I'd like to take this time to thank all of our patrons and, of course, a little extra special love to our initiate level supporters, Tim Ball and Kevin C. Love you guys. Thanks for sharing all of your hard-earned beans with us and keeping the show rolling. We appreciate all that you do, and also just the lovely people that you are. You're great people. I appreciate you. Other ways you can support the show if you like is to like, rate, and subscribe and all that stuff on the platforms of your choice. Leave us a 5-star review if you think we've earned it. Keep an eye out for the merch drop coming soon, and just spread the word. The show's entirely guerrilla marketed, so no social media presence. Just spread the word, tell your mom, tell your pops over Wednesday night dinner this week, as a way to distract them from asking you when you're moving out of the basement and getting your life together as a 35-year-old man. Oh, wait, sorry, that's what my therapist is for. Anyway, if you have any questions or want to correct us on something we screwed up, by all means, send us an email at younerdssuck@gmail.com, and also it's linked below. Last but not least, you can check out my other show with Jesse Aiken called Saints and Sevens about Trench Crusade, the game, and everything grimdark. That's everywhere that you can find podcasts. And before we get started, if you're so inclined, send me a postcard. The address is down below as well, and I'll send you one back. We just got, actually, our latest order of our new limited to 100 prints, 80s synthwave hair metal inspired art by the very same person we're interviewing today, B. So let's support the Postal Service, let's support other artists, and be real humans with each other. It'll be a lot better at getting that postcard in the mail than a coupon for a gutter cleaning, and, if people even use those. Speaking of which, should I use those? Someone tell me if I need to actually clean my gutters. I should probably know this. Anyway, without further ado, here's my conversation with my beloved wife, B.
Literally, if you could make this my corner, I would come down here and fucking doodle on my iPad with you all the time.
Well, so the only problem...
But I need a comfy chair, too.
I mean, yeah, obviously. But the only problem is I'm thinking about completely rearranging down here.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
I haven't decided
why.
how
I like your setup, though, because it fits so nicely with this pole situation.
Well, so I was thinking about moving all of that stuff and this be the entrance into the dungeon.
Nah.
Keep it the way it is. Because I was going to open up that space. This is all contingent
I'm
on
not
me.
going to sit over there.
No. So there was going to be like shelving there. Like the room was going to go this way. And you come in this way into the room.
Oh, see, instead. I just have no spatial reasoning, so I can't picture that at all. My brain doesn't work that way.
This also is... Well, see, the problem is I'm trying to figure out where to put my cassette deck and speakers. Because I want it somewhere where I can work. Like, it's close to my working space. And right now I have no shelf that'll fit it. Nothing that is appropriately sized.
Like, not up there?
Yeah, I could. That is the closest I would be able to put it, is up there.
Yeah. But I think that would be nice to put it up there, because then...
The speaker's going to be closer to the floor, though, is the problem. Well, the roof, for the listeners, the roof in my room.
The roof is on fire.
The floor of the house above us, which means you would be subject to my death metal at 10 o'clock at night, which is why I'm probably just going to get an inline headphone volume control.
Yeah. Well, just don't play it too loud.
I mean, I'm not going to.
Yeah.
Because my tinnitus is wicked bad. So, but anyways, I was thinking about moving it around because I'm also, with all the recording and editing, like kind of pushing to like set up a computer as well, but it needs to be not take up desk space.
Yeah.
Like I need it to be the monitors need to be back because I considered doing it on the TV, but I was thinking about getting rid of the TV altogether.
The other thing, you could put some sound pads on the ceiling.
Well, I want to do some I would love to do some sound reinforcement in here, but I'm on the fence because Just like I consider building like a faux wall so I could actually attach things to it and hang, you know?
Sure.
But then I'm like, well, if we do the encapsulation,
It'll have to all come down.
everything's going to get gutted and come
Yeah.
out. But I mean,
Yeah.
I'm also like, when are we going to do the encapsulation? Because that's going to be a lot of money. And I'm not 100% convinced yet on if it's bang for its butt.
I mean, no, I think it is important because water does get in here. So
True. And eventually, I want to get the electrical
Yeah.
updated.
Yeah.
Is the thing, which kind of makes, like, you don't want to do the electrical unless you're going to encapsulate. I don't know. So anyways, yes, I want to do all those things. And I want to hang things on the wall. But right now, I can't do that. So now that's why I need shelving, which made me think, maybe what if I just rearrange the room and I bring in some shelving units? Because I'm going to, I got terrain, I got models that are getting done now. So.
Oh, little is this going to be an ASMR podcast?
I had a roommate way back in the day who was really into ASMR. And he was also into other stuff like the zit popping, like the, like the real, like the big ones, what are abscesses or whatever they're called, the real
boils,
those things. Yep. He's also a stand-up comedian.
Oh, this guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he,
wow. I feel like every time you talk about him, I learn something new. Yes. And I swing so widely from thinking, wow, this guy was probably awesome to like, ew.
He was awesome. Okay. Yeah, he was awesome. He was good, dude.
I say ew in like a...
I mean, he did he used to sit down and eat just a full boiled chicken.
Full boiled chicken.
Yeah, just raw dog it.
And a spaghetti squash.
Lots of spaghetti squash and boiled chicken happened in that apartment. It was...
the smell of boiled chicken. Oh.
Well, my thing with boiled chicken that bothers me is the goop and the water afterwards.
Oh, no.
Like the fat. I don't know if it's fat or whatever.
Fat. I'm sure it's like rendered fat.
It's just gross. Because then it's like it's on the. I mean, it's not a big deal to wash, but I'm just like that makes me think it's not sanitary. What chicken is sanitary? But that's beside the point.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah.
I don't like to cook chicken.
He did the. I never understood why he didn't do any seasoning. And then finally, one time I came in.
How do you season a chicken if you're boiling it?
I mean, at least put some salt in it, the water or something. I mean, damn, get a salt, like a seasoning packet. And, when you're done, take it out, slice it up, put some seasoning on it from like some pre-made seasoning mix, and then eat it.
Yeah.
Don't just boil it and then just raw dog it.
So the funny thing is, I feel like this is something that you would actually resonate with because food for you is often just a means to an end.
Yes, but so this is how we got there. Because I was like, hey, why don't you at least get some ranch dressing? And he was like, oh. And then what did I see the next day? Boiled chicken, just like a squeeze thing of ranch. And he was just squeezing it on and biting it.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
He was also trying to lucid dream in his free time.
Oh, yeah.
By free time, I mean in the times that he slept, which was rare because he was wildly insomniac.
Yeah.
He was.
Ooh, insomniatic. Mm-hmm. That's good. Insomnia is a
onomatopoeia.
Yeah.
I love onomatopoeia. I don't know if insomniatic is actually one of those words, though.
I don't think insomniatic is a word.
Probably not. You know what isn't also a word? And I heard somebody say this on a podcast I listened to today, and I won't mention the person's name who said it, even though I do work with this individual occasionally. Oh, no. Comfortability. Somebody else I know uses that word. It's not a word.
Oh, but it's such a nice word.
But it's not. No, it's not.
I like it.
Everything's wrong about it. Comfortability. It doesn't even roll off the tongue well.
Oh, it does, though. Comfortability.
No.
Comfortability.
No. Get out of here with that.
I think it's nice.
Well, I'm happy you're happy.
Yeah, you should be.
But the place where the thing is, there was a whole... What was that movie? There's a quote. I'm happy you're happy, but the place where the thing's supposed to be at, it's gone.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know either.
It's not a strong suit of mine.
Clearly not mine either.
That's a motorcycle.
That is a motorcycle. We'll edit that out in the background. So noise gates for B.
Johnny.
Welcome to the show.
Happy to be here.
Thanks for coming downstairs and hanging out with me for a little while.
Hell yeah. Happy to be here. I literally never spend time in your space. So I'm popping the basement cherry. That sounds horrible. Maybe I should take that back.
That's fine.
Everything's a thing.
Everything's a thing. That's what the internet's for. Basement cherries.
Yeah, maybe
don't Google. Google that on safe search and not at work.
Yeah.
If you're going to Google everyone.
Probably a good idea. Yeah.
Save that one for your alone time. Your quote unquote self-reflection. Is that what the kids are calling it these days?
This is an adult podcast, right? Like
you have listened to my podcast.
I know, but like I think I'm the most inappropriate.
That's why I married you.
I know. But I think so far of all the people you've talked to, I will have the most inappropriate things to say.
Well, I think most people are like hesitant when they're new to doing something, and I haven't had that many repeats other than
Oh,
Jay,
fair. Yeah.
right? So like people get more comfortable with it, then they're gonna be like, because I mean the conversations that we have off mic are one thing,
Yeah.
but then you
sure.
put a mic in front of them and they're like, okay, this is going to broadcast or this is going to be published or something like that. People tend to be a little bit more like, well, let me dial it back a little bit,
Fair.
you know, not drop too many F-bombs or talk about, you know, whatever.
And I mean, I guess I have kind of learned how to moderate that a little bit.
Yeah, because you'll get banned.
Especially on TikTok. They really don't like my language on TikTok. But at the
freedom
same
of speech.
I mean,
They don't like freedom of speech.
That goddamn freedom of speech really just grinds my gears. But at the same time, like, I have a personality, right? And my audience has come to appreciate my personality. And so I have learned how to kind of moderate my use of colorful language while staying true to myself.
Well, thankfully, I just flag all mine as explicit, whether
Same.
we
Yeah.
throw down F-bombs or not. But it's one of the things I thought about when we talk about doing like streams, like whether we end up doing a Twitch for the show or like live streams on YouTube.
Yeah.
That I'm like, okay, because I've talked to some people like Jay, for instance, about coming in and us doing like a painting thing, like hobby hangout.
Oh, fun.
Well, we do paints, but then I'm like, well, I'm probably gonna have to edit my language and stuff we talk about like while we're doing it. If we're broadcasting it live, it's one thing to do it later so I can like tag it as explicit, but I haven't looked at what their policies are if like we're there and all of a sudden we're like, hey, comments about our current administration.
So Twitch, you can set your settings to like, hey, this is for certain viewers, and then before a viewer can actually, you know, click into your live, they have to acknowledge like, yes, I am accepting that this is
accepting the liability
XYZ. Yeah. So Twitch is
this is some liberal
less
motherfucker on the other side.
concerned. I mean, now if you're getting super like if there's anything like violent or
right,
you know,
sure,
but like Twitch,
fuck those people.
You'll be fine on Twitch. YouTube, I'm still struggling to figure out what are YouTube.
What are TubeU?
What are TubeU? I can't get a grasp of YouTube. I think because it's so huge is really what it is.
You know, I was talking to somebody the other day about this, about the history of when YouTube was Jordan. I was talking to Jordan when she was here, and we were discussing the throwback to the Guild and Felicia Day's work from in Geek and Sundry way back in the day, right? So, and I distinctly miss the time when YouTube was still a much more freely creative space that was being used creatively, you know, instead of just a monetized platform, which it became at, you know, when Google bought it, which, I mean, capitalism. And not saying capitalism ruins everything.
It ruins everything.
It ruins everything.
We're going to circle back to that.
Apropos, actually, for what we're talking about today. Speaking of, was it not violent corporate takeovers? Was hostile corporate takeovers?
Hostile corporate takeovers. I'm in the middle of experiencing one of those.
The fallout of one. But yeah, I miss that space being something that was more freely creative. It's unfortunate.
YouTube back in the day was an experience.
It was.
Like, it was, you could go onto YouTube and see the craziest variety of videos. And I also, I think what I liked about YouTube in the beginning was it was kind of the first long format social media experience for me. So I came into social media like MySpace, right?
Sure.
So that was like photos mostly. But most of my social media experience was all very short format. You know, maybe a music video was the longest thing that you would see on a social media platform. And then YouTube came across my radar because of Jenna Marbles.
I miss Jenna Marbles.
Oh, I
was
missed
not
Jenna
my.
Marbles.
Well, I missed Jenna Marbles.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't my. I'm an old man.
Well, Jenna Marbles was the
For anybody who doesn't know,
was the frame of my, like, that was like the only content that I absorbed on YouTube for the longest time.
Mm-hmm.
She was my gateway drug into YouTube. And then I didn't pay attention to YouTube for the longest time, kind of actually when Jenna stopped creating, when she stepped away from it and went dark. I was like, well, now I have nothing to watch. And it's really weird circling back and like now trying to loop YouTube into my like creator dashboard, I guess you would say. And yeah, I feel like I'm flying completely blind. I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing.
Well, it's such a deep space now.
Oh, God.
I mean, it's like trying to find an album on Spotify, like find something new to listen on Spotify. It's just, and it goes back to everything with social media and any of these sort of platforms now. You're force-fed the algorithm.
Yeah.
Right? And our algorithm isn't necessarily actually what I'm interested in. It's what they want us to be interested in because it's what they've monetized, right?
They think they're like, hey, this is where you're going to spend money.
Right, exactly.
Like, here.
Or here are people who have paid to have their stuff upticked, because there are times, like especially on YouTube, where I get shorts and I'm like, I don't give a shit about this. Why am I getting a short about this? Give me a short about Deborah Wall and John Bernthal talking about Dungeons and Dragons, or Aaron Gillespie playing drums. Like, oh, we'll talk about that, right? That's fine. But this mime at SeaWorld, I don't get it. Like, I don't care.
Oh, so do you actually watch YouTube Shorts?
On occasion, but not often, because shorts just don't do it for me.
Yeah. Especially because you've really like stepped away from social media, and like YouTube Shorts are basically the YouTube branded version of TikTok.
Exactly. And if which is one of the things I refuse to do for either of my podcasts, I'm not interested in that type of engagement, the shameless shilling of stuff in people's face. If I'm engaging with YouTube, it's for a very specific reason. It's either I am looking for a video of how to do a thing that I'm trying to do, like rebuild a CV carve or something along those lines, or I am specifically looking for something by one of the content creators that I follow.
Yeah.
I don't like the doom scroll period, and because it's too easy to get lost in.
Oh, for sure.
And while I don't think I'm ADHD, it's easy for me to lose track of when I go to a place to do. And the reality is I've subscribed to a number of people to support the creators that I don't regularly go back and watch, because one of the things that I'm learning about YouTube specifically is a lot of people are engaging in YouTube in a different way now. They're engaging it in music, podcasting, video, like movies and stuff like that, instead of the way that we came up with YouTube, which was like content creation, like with someone it's just strictly people that are creating content on YouTube. Now it's much more of a commercialized throughput for stuff that's distributed in other platforms, but people are just using YouTube to get to it. So I wasn't originally distributing to YouTube, and then I talked to people who were like, oh, I just listened to my podcast on YouTube, and I literally was like, there are podcasts on YouTube?
Yeah, how does
like,
that work? Is it just like a black screen?
It basically uploads whatever your image is, if you're just doing an audio-only podcast. And so it lays like your artwork, which you did for the show, by the way, listeners. If you like the artwork, and if you have sent me a postcard, and I know you haven't, then
send a postcard. I just made postcards.
We just produced. I'm waiting for them to come in. New postcards are coming with some real sick art on them.
They're gonna I think they're gonna be really
Thanks
cool.
to be.
I hope. My biggest concern always when I'm making stuff that is like that sort of in that range of color saturation is printing. I always worry is like, especially because with the stickers that I've done and stuff, I have been very lucky that the quality has been nice, but I really like that punchy color, and these postcards are very punchy. Yeah. So I'm like, I hope that the print quality does them justice.
We'll find out. If not, we're not out that much money.
It'll be fine.
We'll recover.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, I didn't pull off of my retirement or anything for it. It's fine.
You didn't.
Sorry, listeners, I don't like you that much.
Invest.
I did upgrade to the spot UV coating, though, so that'll be fancy. And the high gloss as well.
Oh, high gloss was a good choice.
You did shoot me down on the 8.5 by 11 postcards, though.
Way too big. Absolute shenanigans.
You know how funny that would have been, though, if you had this postcard? Because they would have had to fold it up to stick it in mailboxes is a problem.
Oh, yeah. And then you can't hang that up.
No,
it's
that's true. That doesn't defeat the whole purpose of what I was
and-
originally saying.
Yeah, no.
So then I'm shipping them in like record boxes, and that's just insane to do that.
Can you imagine? Like, what is this? It's just a
It's
postcard.
just a postcard. But that was kind of going for a gag. That's the reason. It was like, you don't expect to get an 8.5 by 11 postcard in the mail.
No.
Just a lot of space to just write shit on, though. You could just write a novel on that bad boy.
I mean, you could.
Mm-hmm.
You could.
We'll never know.
No one would be able to read it because your handwriting is so bad.
That's the joke, is people who think they're going to get something special, and they're like, I can't read anything this guy wrote. Well, joke's on you. At least you sent me a postcard.
He gets me, like, cards for birthdays and, Mother's Day and everything. And it's always a little bit of a struggle to read the special note on the card. Like, wait a second. What is that word? I'm going to just take a wild guess. I've gotten really good at context, right? So I'll okay, what holiday is the card for?
That tracks. That sounds like being married to me in general. I have to do mental gymnastics just to coexist with this person in the same space.
Whatever.
Anyways, so you do a thing. So first off,
which thing?
Let's go back for a second. Let's talk about art, because
okay,
we already touched on that, and we'll circle around to the source of your fury and delve deep into that. But I have a question for you before that piece, which is not this, but you're an artist. Mm-hmm. You are a classically trained artist.
I am.
You paint some cool shit.
I try.
I am biased, but I think it's cool. You have done the artwork for the show, for all of your stuff, because you are a streamer, in addition to being an artist. So first, why art?
Why art? Oh my gosh. Like, why did I choose art?
Did you choose the art life, or did the art life choose you?
No, so this is the thing, is I have had to continually choose the art life, because the art life would happily walk away.
You're just fickle asshole.
The art life is a fickle mistress. And if the art life does not get the attention she deserves, she will leave you and will happily not return.
Gotta pay that blood debt.
Yeah. It's so I know so many people that get just completely consumed by whatever project they're working on.
Sure.
In the art world. I have known many artists over the years. I went to art school. Like, I have my degrees in art. And for me, I never experienced that. Like, I have always had to work to get things done. And not that I didn't enjoy it. It was never something that I could do all day long. Okay, let me clarify. I could do it all day long for a week and then not touch it again for a month.
Fair.
There's something about creating art, like painting specifically for me, that is a really intense, personal, vulnerable expression that I think I kind of emotionally traumatize myself.
Okay.
Because I've never been the type that was able to just do the kitschy, oh, here's a painting of a tree. I tried that. I sure could sell stuff. I hated every minute of it. I, for a long time, was doing commission work, and I fell into this weird rotation of doing pet portraits for people.
That was definitely a thing for a while.
Oh my God. Everybody wanted a goddamn pet portrait. And everybody thinks, okay, and this is also, everybody thinks this about their kid, but everybody thinks their pet is just the most photogenic animal on the planet. And I can't tell you how many labs I painted that I was like, wait, what's that one's name again? Because they all end up looking a little bit the same.
This is true.
But yeah, so I got into a cycle of pet portraits. I got into a cycle of doing landscapes for a while, because when I was living in Colorado, mountains, everybody wants a painting of the mountains to hang in their house. And sure, I was making pretty good money doing that. It literally sucked the soul out of my body. And I had, the only reason I continued to do it was because I told myself I needed to make the money.
Sure.
And eventually that just wasn't enough. And I just stopped. I just walked away. I had people lined up that I said, hey, sorry, I refunded deposits. I said, I can't do this anymore. is killing me to do this. And then I didn't pick up a paintbrush for probably a year after that.
That's real. I mean, I experienced something similar from a writing perspective, right? When you're doing something and all of a sudden like your rent and your meal depends on it.
Yeah.
And it was something that you started because you enjoyed it or because you had a youthful idealism, right? About
That's real.
Doing the creative thing and being an artist and all those kinds of stuff. And that's not to like shit on the realities of being an artist and the beauty of it and how great it is, a creator, but it's not often the glamorous thought that we have of what it's going to be,
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. I mean, I think anybody in the creative space, especially anyone who does it full time or has spent any amount of time doing it full time, will acknowledge that. And it's tough when you do it long enough, it just sucks the joy out of why you were doing it to begin with, right?
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I never really understood how to get past. I did it in music where I played for many, many years in music and eventually got to the point of like, hey, you know what? I don't want to jam myself in the back of a van and go on tour around country anymore, right? Like it's the $10,000 I'll clear at the end of the year after all expenses have been paid. It's just not worth it, right? Or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
And I'm tired of working until 4 a.m. in the music industry and studios and stuff like that. I'm going to climb under put my toes under your blanket there and we can play footsie.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
And there comes a point where you, I think, if you continue to do it, will resent the thing that you used to love. And that is unfortunate. I talked to Jesse recently not that recently now, on an episode where we were talking about the death of creativity and the consequence on like basically the human soul, right? The existential consequence of the death of creativity. And I don't know if everyone goes through that starts or experiences a portion of their life, like in that creative space. But I remember like when I hung everything up, I mean, there was other stuff that went on in my life, obviously, but when the shit hit the fan, the proverbial fan happened, and I walked away from everything creative, I mean, it had a dramatic toll on me in a lot of ways. And it's only something that, relatively recently within the past few years, I've started to find the motivation to get back into. And it's one of the things about this show where I was like, I'm not doing this for money. I'm not doing it for sustainability or anything like that. I'm doing it because I have a vision of wanting to share people with other people, like genuinely, that don't have a voice because they're not big industry people necessarily. That's not to talk poorly about what you do. I don't mean that. You're big in my eyes.
Oh, I was like
5 gold stars. But like talking to corporate people,
Sure.
like I used to, like
heavily platformed people.
Right. Didn't want to talk to corporate people. I'm not here to like be a platform for them to, shill their wares that everyone else is interviewing them about and that kind of thing. Right.
Sure.
But it had to be on the terms of like, I want to do this because I enjoy it. So it has to be in a format that I enjoy and that I want to engage in, because I don't want to be back at that place like I was in the past.
Yep.
And I can imagine drawing a correlation to music, I guess, in some ways. I could somewhat imagine with that being my baseline of experience, being a painter, working in tangible media art can be equally as frustrating as trying to craft songs, right? And equally exhausting in so many ways.
The other day when I was in the studio, I literally reworked 2 of my giant paintings that like when I had walked away from them, like a month ago, I thought they were 70% on the way to being done. Now they're both down to like maybe 20% done.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Because it was one of those things like I wasn't feeling great about them when I left, but I thought, well, let me just not look at them for a little while and come back with fresh eyes. And I came back with fresh eyes and was like, no, I need to completely change that.
Well, oftentimes in the back end, more often than not, I mean, with your work, I would say it always seems to come out better. But thinking back in the context of like music and stuff like that, a lot of times, most of the time, there's a point when sometimes you have to set it down and walk away. Just be like, it's done. Like, I'm not going to put any more into it, right?
Yeah.
Just because time, return, all that kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I guess that's the other piece of it, right? Is where do you draw the line of time versus return when it comes to a creative expression like that? Like, because you're not, to your point, like you're not taking commissions. No. You're not painting someone's dogs or doing what is the marketable thing, which is like a landscape or like a historical home or a cherry blossom tree or something, whatever the fucking thing is, right? That people like in wherever the area in the market is that you're in. You're painting and creating what you want to paint and create.
Yeah.
And the nature and the market for art is like that's such a intangible value.
Well, we are in the age of consumerism, right?
Mm-hmm.
And art is expected to be easily consumable. Art collection is a dying hobby. People don't collect art in the same way that they used to, where like you might get married and you might be gifted like a pretty expensive piece of art as like, here's the start of your art collection as a family. Like that was a thing, that was like collecting art was a whole world, and that's just not really the case anymore.
Do you think the development of media has impacted that? Like tangible media, like the internet, things like that, right? Because it's like, we're not still, for one. We're not still with our thoughts, which is, I think, a piece of engaging with art, right? Is to sit there and can just stare at a thing, So
just like be present with something.
And just be, and we're like, we're not present.
No.
We're just not present. It just fundamentally as a society, as a species, we're just not present with any significant amount of regularity in our day to day, right? We're not, and this is the thing that I'm curious about too, when it comes to the long term impact of what I am concerned with about the death of creativity. And this, not what our conversation is here for, but like it bleeds into like AI. It bleeds into the means in which we engage with things now, which are almost all exclusively monetized, even things that people are creating, right, in creative spaces and they're meant to be grab you by the face, like inflammatory, like taglines, like whatever the thing is. It's not a thing that's supposed to just sit and engage with it and you just absorb it. It's just like we don't sit and just absorb movies anymore. We don't watch cinema.
No,
we don't. And admittedly, like what's being produced doesn't. Thank you Disney and Marvel for a shit ton of garbage movies.
We were talking about that on stream today, actually.
So, anyways, I'm not trying to. That's a whole other conversation we could go down about how we engage with art as a society. But for people listen, you work primarily in acrylic. You're classically trained though, so
classically
you did
trained,
the oil thing.
Oil, like learning how to make my own oil paint, from scratch.
Just squeezing those olives.
Pigment. Ew.
What oil is an oil? Is it like motor oil? You just go get some out of the car?
It's usually like linseed.
Oh, this crap I can never find to treat the cast iron.
It's very hard to find.
Yeah, you can't find it anywhere.
Yeah.
Apparently it's like the best thing for your cast iron though.
It's nice. It's expensive.
I use the blue can of Crisco because of...
Hey, the Crisco works just fine. Great. Yeah, those cast irons are very non-stick.
Very well used.
Yeah.
Get yourself a good cast iron. Spend 4 years getting it ready to use.
I mean, yeah. And don't let anybody touch it that doesn't know how to work with cast iron.
Oh, horror stories.
Yeah.
And you do primarily large format, would you say?
I am happiest.
Yeah.
Large format. Sometimes for sanity's sake, if I just feel like I need that success feeling of finishing a painting, I'll have a couple small things working while I'm also working on something large. I found that's kind of been my happy medium right now is I have like one big project and then a couple smaller projects. But yeah, I'm happiest large format.
Is that harder for people to find a home for?
Oh, for sure.
Right?
Oh, for sure.
Because
especially like price wise.
Sure.
I mean, the bigger and like I don't necessarily I don't put that much effort into pricing my work. I think realistically materials, I'm terrible at monetizing my time.
I know you are. We've had this discussion.
Horrible at it. I'm horrible at it. And some of it comes to, especially when I'm doing something that I'm really enjoying, like it doesn't feel like work, right? So it's hard for me to think in like a monetization mindset. Cause it's like, oh, that took me like 30 hours to paint, but like I loved every minute of it. So, I'm not trying to like make a fortune off of it or something.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, even just materials, it racks up when you get bigger. And especially like some of the stuff that I have in the works right now is quite large. So yeah, I like to work big. I like to paint people. I like to paint the figure. I like to paint human bodies. That also just goes back to my classical roots. You know, it was a lot of time. First, you kind of mimic and copy like master painters.
Yep.
You spend a long time doing that, just like copying other artists' work. And then when you finally start to get to do some of your own work, it's a lot of from life. You know, I spent a whole year only painting from life, you know, whether it was still life or whether it was figure. So, yeah, I think that was just always something that stuck with me. And I like to work in realism, but I've definitely taken a lot of influence from abstract expressionism, a little bit of impressionism, because I put a lot of emotion into, you know, everything from my color palette to like my actual brush strokes, the actual texture on the canvas for me is like an emotional expression.
You talk about the color palette, and that's the thing that I think stands out to me a lot about your art is you're not gentle with your colors. And I love everything about it.
Yeah.
It's not like pop art. It's not at all like that, at least not in stylings. But you use extremely bold color choices or heavy use of black or something like, and it's cool because it's paired with that element of realism, that classical figure technique that you have, right? And I think it's one of those things I really enjoy watching people look at your art, because I'm like, are they going to get it or are they not going to get it? And it's not like, are they going to get it or not going to get it because they're looking at like a Monet style impressionism piece, right? Where it's just like, here's a bunch of blobs on a piece of paper. And I see the future of humanity's degradation into capitalistic overtures, sandwiched between two penguin feet. You know, like...
Well, that's a very interesting impression of Monet, but okay.
I mean... yeah, you know, the one painting by Monet, look, Salvador Dali's like the only guy I can talk about to any extent, because he's got some crazy stuff. But it's more a matter of like, do they get like how and why you're doing it, you know, instead of the piece as a whole? Because I mean, it's a lot of times they're very classically profiled pieces, but it's just not done in a way that most people would engage with when they're like, holy shit, that's a pink painting, you know, like, or whatever the case is, you know. And I think it's cool because I think it's that juxtaposition of styling and everything that's really neat.
And it's all, for me, it's all, once again, just expressions of emotion and feeling, and for me, the easiest way to talk about emotion was in color, and continues to be in color. You know, it's changed over the years for sure. You can, if you were to lay out my work from college, you know, through now, you would see some consistencies in my color choices, but you would also see some differences for sure that would be noticeable.
Oh, for sure. I could see that.
Yeah.
Like looking back at some of the images of your older work, at least, that you still have. I think, what did I think? I had a thing and I totally lost it because I about made a comment.
I saw it cross your face and I was like, oh, he's going to interrupt me right here.
Yeah, I stopped it. And that's the thing. And that's what distracted me because I was like, shut up. Don't interrupt her. Don't talk about that thing right now because you're about to make a comment about time and that's not what we need to talk about. And then I was like, I had another thing that I wanted to say about. Actually, it was relevant to the conversation, and it wasn't like a side comment. But it doesn't matter, anyways.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah, I know,
happens to me all the time.
Well, you make great work. Is the thing.
Thanks.
It's really cool.
Thanks.
I am biased, but I don't care. Oh, I know what it was. Lightning round.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a color. You give me the emotion associated with it.
Oh gosh.
Pink.
Pink for me is a headache.
Purple.
Purple is calming.
Black.
Black is comforting.
Orange.
Orange is happy.
Salmon.
Ooh. Salmon is ew.
Okay, good. You pass. Good. Gold star. You said earlier about mimicry in early stages of your painting career.
Oh,
There
for
was
sure.
a podcast episode by Zack Spurlock in it. He's a tattoo artist out of Savannah, Georgia. Last time I checked, he was down at Kudzu, which is his own shop now. Used to be at Anonymous Tattoo. And he was interviewed by someone who I was not aware of. Like, somehow I stumbled onto this podcast episode. I didn't realize like what was going on with it. But apparently this guy is like a big guy in the tattoo community and an artist originally and stuff like that. And what was interesting is he and Zack were sharing stories about coming up as classical artists, thinking that, hey, we wanted to be, I'll see if I can find the episode and link it in the show notes, but they were like thinking that they wanted to be like professional painters.
Oh yeah.
And then they were talking about just the shit existence it is being under like a professional painter and doing all of their like
finishing work.
And like prepping the canvases, and they're like, yeah, we probably got cancer from all kinds of stuff we handled, and like and they're just like, it is a terrible job being that guy. It's
crazy. It is crazy to work in a professional painting studio. Like that is an experience. It is not for the weak of heart, because you put in the fucking work.
I didn't appreciate the depth of what was involved. I had no idea. I was
oh my God,
shocked.
Yeah.
And it led into a whole history lesson on like
historical
sculptors and all this other kinds of stuff, and their what are they called? Apprentices? Is that the correct term?
Yeah.
Isn't there a technical term for it? There's some technical term for it, I think.
Oh, I mean, probably.
Okay, whatever. Anyways, those guys, yeah, it was nuts. Because of course I had to go deep dive that and learn about it.
It's the same like in any sort of, you see it in photography too, like professional photographers. Someone will set up the scene and do all the pre and post processing, and the photographer literally just snaps the photo. Or sometimes they don't even snap the photo. Sometimes they do all of the, just the framing. Like, this is what I want. I don't know if you get that as much these days, but when it was film, that was...
Oh, sure, yeah.
That was very much like... You had an army of people.
I think you might see that parallel somewhat potentially in the film industry.
Oh, sure.
Movie making,
totally.
Especially some of the bigger names.
Yep.
Which is a whole other side topic we could go down. But I want to stay focused here. So you are a lady.
I mean, I don't know if you should call me a lady.
I think you have a shirt that says "I'm a real fucking lady" or something like that.
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So you're right.
There you go.
Okay.
You did it to yourself. You're a lady in the gaming space, in addition to being a painter.
Yes.
A lady painter.
Yes, a lady painter.
Lady Fingers.
Although
That's a weird cookie name.
So this is really interesting. In the painting space, I try to remain. I don't give any like, hey, I'm a woman painter, right? I actually try to keep my gender neutral. Like when I'm signing my work, when, if I'm writing anything formal about my work, I don't like to make any references that I'm male or female. But in gaming, yes, I'm very loudly like, yes, I'm a woman in gaming.
So real quick on the painting thing, is that because of the suppression of the female artist by the white man, or is that because of historically speaking, or is that because that is a space to explore like a non-gendered identity or something along those lines?
No, for me it is truly because women in the art space are still suppressed or expected to make happy, pretty work, and that's not something I'm interested in. I think men have a lot more free reign.
Even the way you say men, it's just filled with vitriol. Men.
There's something that happened.
Men.
There's something that happened to me in the latter section of my 30s where I really just woke up one morning and I was like, men are the problem.
Specifically old white men.
White men are
even more so.
Problem. And I'm just really holding on to that. And
that's a good thing to hold on to. We should all probably hold on a little bit like that. So
just the awareness. If every white man out there could just have a little bit more awareness, we would be so much better off as a society.
Well, they are aware. They are aware of your inferiority as a woman.
Yeah. Burn her.
She's a woman. I thought we only burned witches. No, she's a woman. It's fine. Oh, man. People. What a bunch of bastards.
Yeah.
So you are a gamer lady. Is that
Yes.
fair to say? Okay.
Yes.
And you also blew right past my comment about ladyfingers, and I've always thought it was a weird name for a cookie.
Oh, yeah.
That's so weird to me. Why do they call them ladyfingers?
I actually have no idea.
It's kind of disgusting. It's like salmon as a color.
I
Exactly.
got a shiver.
Exactly. That face is when people say ladyfingers, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Isn't it? It's like a shortbread cookie dipped in chocolate.
Yeah, I think so.
Right?
Or is it layered in chocolate? There's like a chocolate layer in between. I don't remember.
I don't know. It's not
silly.
a cookie that I would like
No, I wouldn't go after that. I'd be like, oh, that's cookie.
pick
I wanna
out.
eat.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to go to the bakery and get some ladyfingers.
No, I'm good.
No, I'm going to the bakery and get a donut. Give me that donny boy.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
So anyway, so you game.
Yeah.
What's that? What is, before we get into the harsh realities of what's going on in the industry right now, just overall for anybody else out there as someone in the gaming space, what was your beginning? Like, how did you get into gaming? And then how did you find yourself in a place of, as a streamer, doing live content and content creation? And like, what has that experience been like for you? I know it's like twofold questions.
That is a crazy spectrum. Gaming for me started with Legend of Zelda. I picked up Legend of Zelda as a child, and it was like, wow, this is it for me, guys. I'm cooked. I wanted to live in the worlds of Legend of Zelda. And that was the only game series that I played for the majority of my gaming existence, honestly. I didn't really start branching out until, as a family, we got, and I was a little older, so like I wasn't around as much to play, but we got a PS2. And there was like Lord of the Rings and Treasure Planet and Spider-Man, I think, came out on PlayStation 2.
Underappreciated movie, by the way, Treasure Planet.
Oh, Treasure Planet. We were talking about that on stream today too. But so once the PlayStation 2, because we had a PlayStation, but there was something about the catalog of games on the PlayStation 2 that like opened my eyes to a different platform, because I was so solely, devoutly committed to Nintendo that like PlayStation just, I was like, yeah, whatever. Like, it's fine, I guess. But then there was something about the PlayStation 2 that really changed my opinion on gaming. And that's when I played Shadow of the Colossus and began to see scope in gaming for the first time, and started chasing down those larger scope games that were way more challenging. Not to say that Legend of Zelda can't be challenging, but you kind of get into a cadence in a Legend of Zelda game. You kind of get into a rhythm.
Sure.
Like, I was at the point in Legend of Zelda where I was speedrunning stuff. And then with the PlayStation 2, it all changed. And that was when I realized, like, I've been missing out.
I'm missing all this time.
Yeah. So played a bunch of games on the PlayStation 2 and then invested in an Xbox, and then it was Halo.
I will say the PS2 was an iconic stamp in the video game industry.
It was.
Because the catalog for the PS2 was bonkers.
Insane. There was so
many. You had all like the Tony
much.
Hawks, the Pro
Oh my
Skaters, like
gosh.
all kinds of stuff came out.
We had like Jack and
PS2.
Daxter. Like, I was obsessed with Jack and Daxter. You had like all the there was a series of these Donkey Kong games where you like, it was like a third person Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Those were so stupidly fun. I'm trying to remember, there was another one and it came out right in that time too. It was very similar feel. I just can't think of it right now, but yeah, that was the PlayStation 2 gaming catalog was wild.
Yeah, Sony came out swinging with that one.
Yeah. Yep. And then, but I had a lot of friends who were on Xbox, and so I was like, well, if PlayStation is this good, like I got to go check out Xbox. I was disappointed. There wasn't as much variety on Xbox. Xbox was all first-person shooters. But then there was Halo. And Halo grabbed me by the lady balls and took me on another journey. And I stuck with Halo. I dabbled in Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't say dabbled. I was actually pretty fucking good in Call of Duty, as you have witnessed.
This is true.
But yeah, I mean, really what started it all for me was Nintendo and Legend of Zelda specifically.
So have you played through the entire Legend of Zelda catalog?
Oh yeah, multiple times.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. And I can say now I actually have completely played through the catalog because I just finished Echoes of Wisdom.
Really?
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
That came from you.
Oh,
and I could not put that game down.
You blew through it pretty quick.
Yeah, it was so good. The story, the gameplay, like the abilities that you got as playing as Zelda, like, damn, that game, they cooked. It's Nintendo. Like, I expect nothing less, honestly, from all of Nintendo. Everything they put out, even if it's not really my cup of tea. Like, Mario I was never like super into Mario, but the Paper Mario game.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, I loved Paper Mario. It was the same with like Mario Party. It was fine. It was never like I was never hooked on Mario Party.
Yeah.
I mean I love Mario Kart, but I would not call myself like a Mario Kart player by any means.
I mean, does anybody actually play Mario Kart like that though? Because
no, people do.
I just feel like it just gets too repetitive.
Well, but there's like so Nintendo is notorious for doing this, where they put so many Easter eggs and like secrets into their games, and that's what people chase, right?
Yeah.
Is people chase all those little extra things. Like, sure, you can just play through the game just for the completion, but if you want all the things, you're going to put a lot of hours into it.
It's like all those achievements. Thank you very much. Well, it's like Jesse has 100% of the Spider-Man. He probably has done Star Wars, the Spider-Man series, and I've been playing Spider-Man and the remaster.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't fathom finding all of the Daily Bugles in New York to get 100% because...
Like the newspaper?
Yeah. And they're just like in these random little newspaper like boxes on the street as you're just like zipping around.
Uh-huh.
And there's like, I don't know, 200 of them or something like that.
God. Yeah.
And there's no map. I mean, I'm sure there's like a cheat online, but why would you do that? Like that kind of like steals the purpose of it. But
cheaters.
Yeah, cheaters. So Halo. And that began a relationship with Bungie. That
started my love affair with Bungie as a game studio and opened the next 12 years of my life to a little game. You guys might have heard of it called Destiny.
Probably not. It's very niche.
It's very niche. I don't think many people have played Destiny. I mean, this petition that's circling around has almost 400,000 signatures. I mean, that's not that many people.
Okay, so beautiful segue to the meat and the potatoes here. So why, pray tell, in case anyone was not aware, is there a 400,000, almost a 500,000 people sending a petition around to Bungie?
Yeah, so we received an update from Bungie 2 weeks ago that the June 9th update for Destiny 2 is going to be the final live update for the game. So essentially Destiny 2 is going into a hibernation status, just like D1 has been in since 2016.
So they're basically twilighting the game.
Yeah.
Keeping the servers up and everything.
The servers will be up. Yeah. They'll still do maintenance on the servers. You know, there will still be weekly rotations of things, but there will be no new content for D2 after June 9th. Let's just sit with that for a minute. I can already feel my eyes starting to water.
Why? Why does the game mean that much to you?
The last 12 years, that's a third of my life, or almost a third of my life, or a little, essentially a third of my life, has been a wild journey. That's like my 20s into my 30s. A lot has changed. I have changed. I have gone through crazy amounts of joy, crazy amounts of sorrow and grief, and Destiny has always been there. Destiny has been the one like truly constant source of joy for 12 years of my life. And that's a long time. I've had periods where I wasn't playing, but never very long. You know, it's something I would always, I always had, I always played, you know, I picked it up. It's also the first game for me that was truly, like playing online with strangers and building community that way. I met my two closest and at this point like longest friendships through Destiny. We started raiding together just randomly in D1. One of the guys that I knew from when I was living in Denver, I had convinced him to pick up Destiny, and he sent a random fire team invite to a random person in the tower. And then that person was Shade, and Shade convinced his wife Queen to stop playing on Xbox and switch over to PlayStation so that she could play with us. And
some days before cross-platform.
Yeah. Yeah.
For all of you youngins out there that didn't know there was a time that you couldn't play.
There was a time. And then, yeah, I mean, Shade and Queen were at our wedding, and they know our child. And yeah, it's, I wish I could more accurately describe the significance of this game in my life, because it's weird, because it's like, oh, it's a video game, you know, and whether you love video games or whether you play super casually, like, it's still, for so many people, it's just like, oh, it's just a video game. But it's been so much more than that for me.
I'd wager those people also probably don't have a book that they have a deep emotional connection to.
Fair.
Because
I have several of those.
You do, right, yeah. But video games they're just another form of storytelling. It's just another medium, right? Yeah. And if you can have an emotional connection and response to a movie, to a book, right, to art, to a painting, why is it so unreasonable to have it to a video game? You know, especially if something that's been that consistent there and maybe has been a source of comfort or familiarity, because spicy brain, right?
Oh, yeah.
The familiar thing is important to you. Right?
Very important to me.
So that draws even more of a connection, I would assume.
I'm the person that rewatches the same movie like 50 times a year. You know, I'm the same person that I just watch the same shows on repeat. You know, like I draw a lot of comfort from that repeatability. You know, I read the same books. Like, I read lots of books, obviously.
You read so many books.
I read lots of books. I read lots of new books, but I still have a handful of books that I will reread just at least once a year.
Sometimes you read a brand new book and then you read it again right after you finish reading it.
And then I read it again.
It's kind of crazy. I'm like, wow. That's really, well, there's just so much more I didn't get the first time. Okay. That's cool.
And Destiny is like that for me, you know? So Destiny for me was a game that I started off playing solo, and you can play the entire Destiny franchise solo. You will miss a lot of content because there's just a lot of content that you need a fire team for, whether it's a 3-man fire team or like raid level, it's a 6-man fire team. But you can muddle through, you can play all the story missions as a solo player. And so I started D1 as a solo player, and then convinced my friend in Denver to buy the game, even though he was like extremely poor. Like, he was so broke. He was trying to make it as an artist, you know, and like definitely didn't have, you know, $50 to drop on a video game, but he did it for me because I peer pressured him into it.
Didn't eat for 2 weeks, but that's fine.
And so we played together, and he was braver than I in extending random fire team invites to randos so the tower is like the social space.
Yeah.
I was too chicken shit to do that, but he was like, I don't care. I'll invite so and so, and we'll try to do this, you know, this hard nightfall or something, which is like it's going to be too much for me to explain all the different things within
The game's been around for 12 years.
It's been around for 12 years. There's
it's
a lot
like
of
throwing
stuff.
spoilers out on it, and people are like, well, I don't want to do spoilers. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
that movie was from like 2004.
Yeah.
If they haven't seen it yet, that's on them.
Yeah. Well,
Look,
there's just so much. There's so much, and it's all very. If you haven't played the game, you won't have any idea what I'm talking about when I refer to a nightfall.
So the point is, this is the perfect time to pause the podcast. Go download Destiny 2, play for about 137 hours, and then come back and continue the podcast. We'll wait. We'll still be here.
137 hours is not that much time.
No, it's not. That's what I'm saying. Your
Yeah.
light level's probably gonna be like 72.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do some grinding.
That's real about that game.
Yeah.
You got to grind.
Oh,
That
it's
game
a grind.
is a grind.
It can be a grind, but it's a rewarding grind.
Is it?
It is. It is. So, I mean,
Like the first 7 times you have to do the thing, but like time like 8 through like 37.
I don't know. No, Bungie, up until recently, Bungie has done a really good job at making the grind fun.
Okay.
They have
I mean, it's a
they
good
have
game. I
done
enjoy it.
that through the whole, D1 into D2. They give you something and right off you're like, oh yeah, this is going to be a grind, but they make it worth it. It's like the payout in the end feels so good. You're like, oh yeah, let's do it again. It hasn't been until recently, the last year, post Final Shape, which was the last big expansion that we got. At the conclusion of Final Shape, things took a huge dive content-wise. The quality was bad. They changed what's called the director, which is how you access, the different planets and the different activities and the different activity playlists and things. They kind of tried to scrap that, and they gave us this new interface called the Portal, which was bleh, bad. It's terrible, and we hated it. But the horrible thing is, I was having so much fun that when Sony acquired Bungie, I didn't think anything of it because the game felt good. I was having a blast. Like, my streaming thing was kind of starting and taking off, and I was building this community. And so it flew under the radar for me when Sony acquired Bungie. And I think my only thought was like, oh, that's awesome. Here's more money for Destiny.
Right. Yeah.
I really truly believed like this is going to be good for the game. This is going to, Bungie developers are going to have bigger paychecks and are going to have more support to give us good shit. And then
Capitalism.
So we got Ashen Iron, which we all call Ass and Iron. It was some of the worst shit that they've ever pushed out. Well, okay, no.
It's like a budget version of the Marky Mark and Dwayne Rock Johnson movie.
Yeah.
Painting game.
Yeah.
Ass and Iron.
Ass and Iron. So rewind, I skipped Edge of Fate. Edge of Fate is technically the last big expansion we got, but it was such a small expansion. It didn't have the same gravity as Final Shape. And so we got Edge of Fate. A lot changed in the way that we played the game in Edge of Fate. And they introduced this weird thing throughout the whole story campaign where you had to become a ball and you rolled around, and it was awful.
I remember that.
I hated it.
Somebody tried to channel Sonic the Hedgehog or some
yes
bullshit.
It was that vibe. It was terrible. And I kind of was like, well, whatever. It opened up the story. Because at the end of Final Shape, it was kind of like, wow, we defeated the Witness. We defeated the evil. We defeated the darkness. You ended Final Shape with this finality. And I think that was the moment that we as the Destiny community all kind of felt like, okay, it's time for D3 at this point. I don't really know where we go from here. And then they did Edge of Fate, and it was like, okay, so now we're going to start talking about these other kind of innocuous, are they good, are they bad? I don't really know. The 9. And I was like, okay, so we're not getting D3. We're going to continue on this new story arc. talking about the 9 and investigating the 9, and maybe at the end of that is when we'll get D3. And Edge of Fate did poorly. The player count continued to drop. It steadily just continued to fall off. Ass and Iron came out, and it got even worse. And then we saw a slight bump when they did Renegades, which was their kind of Star Wars themed release, which I was disappointed. And it's weird to say that because I'm a huge Star Wars fan, right? Like, I love Star Wars. I have Star Wars tattoos. Like, Star Wars has been a huge part of my life for a long time. And I was, so part of me felt really guilty for being disappointed because I was like, here's 2 of my favorite things. Like, I should love this.
Yeah, mesh into one.
And I did not. I was like,
sometimes that's the worst outcome though.
well, because I was like, I don't want to play a Star Wars game.
Yeah.
I want to play Destiny, you know, like I don't give a shit about playing a Star Wars game. If I wanted to play Star Wars, I would go play Star Wars. And Bungie did an okay job of keeping it Destiny feeling with like Star Wars flavor. You know, we got a lightsaber, which is actually like pretty fun to play with. I run the Praxic blade quite a bit. It's pretty great. You know, they gave us this whole new like game mode, and you know, there's chicken walkers, and I mean the Cabal like all have this like stormtrooper feel, and we got Dredge and Bale, who's like, I mean, that's
kind of a Star Wars name.
Yeah, it's very Star Wars. He's a very Star Wars villain, right? He's very conflicted. He's very like emotionally charged. And so it was kind of like, okay, this is fine. And it's still left with like a huge story potential at the end of it, you know, and then they said, okay, you're going to get your next content release in, I think, March. And a couple weeks before we were supposed to get that, they said, just kidding. We have this other game that we've been making. So now your Destiny content isn't going to come till June. But here, go play this other game called Marathon. It's an extraction shooter.
Because of Arc Raiders.
Because of Arc Raiders. And the other one that everybody loves that I can't think of the name of. There's like 2 extraction shooters. Now there's 3. Marathon. And so that really like rocked the Destiny community when they put off a Destiny content release for another game from Bungie. And I think a lot of us tried to be really positive about it. Like, hey, if Marathon does it really well, that's just more money for Destiny. I think we all were under this impression that between Sony and this new game, Marathon, that it was going to be like, okay, now the Destiny stuff is going to be good because it's been bad for like a year. So
surely there's redemption at the end of this tale.
We will be patient. We will play Marathon, or try to play Marathon, and just wait till June for the continuation of our journey, because we have a lot of loose ends. There's a lot of loose ends after even fucking Ash and Iron. There were loose ends in the story that like needed to be tied up. And then instead of getting a continuation of D2, they told us so long and thanks for all the fish. So now we're left with that. June 9th. Last live update. And I will say, the shit that they're giving us on June 9th is what we've been asking for a year.
I mean, that's something, I guess, right?
Yeah. So that gives me a little bit of hope that they are listening and that they are going to try and give us something that will keep us happy for some time. Now, on the flip side of that, D3 is not in production. Bungie has confirmed that. Sony has confirmed that D3 is not in production. It has been pitched, but there is currently no team working on a D3. And realistically, even if they were to start working on D3 tomorrow, I don't think we would see that game until sometime in the 2030s. It's just like I don't know much about game development, but I know that you can't build a game that's as big as the Destiny universe in like a year or two. That's just not how that works. And if you wanted to do it and have it be successful, right, you're going to need years. And so, yeah, here we are, June 9th. It's called Monument of Triumph. And that's going to be it for D2. And
sounds like they should call it Monument of Sorrows.
Yeah, well, yes, I have been I've been grieving for sure. Because at least when D1 was getting retired, we knew that we were getting D2. Mm-hmm. We knew that like all of the things that we had given feedback about in D1, you know, that they were putting into play in D2. Sure, we had to wait a little bit. We didn't have to wait that long. So at least while we were in that retirement phase in D1, there was still something on the horizon to look forward to. And at this moment in time, there's nothing to look forward to. Like they keep saying there is no D3 in production. Now, something in the Destiny community that we really like, we call it copium. Mm-hmm. We get on that copium and we say, oh, well, they keep specifically saying it's not D3, so maybe it's named something else.
Okay.
That's the level of delusion that the community is going through right now.
Got it.
And I mean, it has rocked the community. Like I watched, you know, some of the big name content creators in the Destiny, you know, community, like Aztec Cross and Mactix and Datto, you know, these big names, like that Destiny has been their career for 10 years. Like we were completely blindsided by this news. Nobody knew it was coming. And watching them, literally the realization that Destiny 2 was ending, watching that happen in real time was insane. It was one of the craziest moments that I've ever experienced. It's like watching someone fly home to see their grandmother and like drive up to their grandma's house and have the door be answered by a stranger saying, oh yeah, no, your grandma died. Like that was the level of like shock that was occurring like in real time on these streams. And then you watched them go through the whole spectrum, right? It was shock, and then it was anger, and then it was grief, and then it was like bartering.
Right.
Like it was wild. And I had to turn it off. And I was really grateful, actually. We had a trip planned that weekend. Mm-hmm. They released the news on a Thursday, and I was just consuming content from Thursday all through Friday. And we left Friday, and I was really glad that we did that trip because like I was upset, you know, like I was in tears for like 12 hours, you know, anytime anyone would mention Destiny, it was just like, oh my God, it's ending, it's over. And then just to see that reflected in the community, like across the community is crazy. And it's still happening. It's still going on. Sony just had the PlayStation State of Play.
Mm-hmm. I was just about to say that. Yeah, and watching the chat log was hysterical.
So on Twitch, it was chat was nothing but we want D3.
Yeah.
We want Destiny 3. There was
Destiny nerds know how to throw down.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's cool.
Guardians make their own fate.
Yeah.
and I'll tell you, everybody turned out for that. It was so bad that, so they couldn't do this on Twitch, but on YouTube, they shadow banned the phrase, we want Destiny 3.
Oh,
so
wow.
it wouldn't show up in chat on YouTube. I don't know how they do that. I don't understand chat moderation on YouTube. Sure. That's something I'm still trying to figure out. But I watched it on Twitch, and for an hour and 45 minutes, it was nothing but D3
at an extremely quick rate. Like it was,
and that was in slow mode.
Crazy. That was in slow mode.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that was slow
nuts.
mode.
I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of people were probably sending stuff at the time.
So at one point when I looked at the total, it was like 96,000 people on Twitch. And I think at least 90,000 of those viewers were people spamming chat with D3.
It was scrolling so fast you couldn't even read it. It was crazy.
And I don't know if anyone truly appreciates, this is the first time that's ever really happened in the gaming world. So a lot of people talk about Halo. A lot of people talk about
You can't talk about Halo though. Halo's still getting production.
yeah. Halo's still getting production. There was another game that somebody mentioned in stream tonight where there was a lot of outrage when the series ended.
Bionic Commando.
I don't even know what that game is.
It's a notoriously difficult game from Nintendo. There's only one of them because it was so hard.
Fair enough. But this is kind of a first in the gaming world where like hundreds of thousands of people are rallying to be like, this is unacceptable.
So the thing that I don't understand, I mean, and I don't understand capitalism clearly.
It ruins everything.
Because I draw the parallel with Games Workshop as well, because they do this crap all the time where they produce things intentionally at a shortage of demand. They falsely create, or they don't falsely create, I guess they artificially create scarcity.
Well, when you're the only one doing that, supply and demand is truly in your
you control everything, right? But from a production company perspective, and again, I don't understand business, right? But like, if you clearly have this many people who are like, make the fucking game, you're like, we can make an easy 10 milli off of this probably. Like,
no, that's exactly
no
the
big
numbers.
deal?
That's exactly the numbers. So, or like maybe 20 mil. Like,
I mean, 20 is probably more realistic.
Someone
would be
said,
short.
hey, when Destiny was at its peak numbers, it was in like the 400,000 range, pull in like 20 mil. And the petition has almost now 400,000 signatures. Like, look, here's money on the table.
Yeah.
Truly, money on the table. But like you said, I don't know business. I don't fuck around with it. I don't know anything about it. I don't know how that works. I don't know what that looks like in terms of actually producing a game in this kind of landscape of gaming where everything, I think we've entered this kind of new stage of gaming where that instant reward is so key.
Absolutely.
People don't like to work for their rewards.
Yeah. Well, and you have to think about, again, I think from the perspective of financial gain, that it is wildly more profitable for a company to spend less money producing a game that has a shorter completion time, a faster turnaround time that hits the dopamine and the button faster, and then burn that game down and go on to the next one, right? Yeah. Because all you're doing is you're doing what people do with shorts and social media and TikTok and all stuff. It's a dopamine hit every time you're scrolling and you're getting to like the button. You see the thing that triggers, right? And we just move on 10, 20 seconds of consumption, right? We're not staying in present in the consumption of whatever that thing is to fully experience it in all of its totality. There's no reason that the gaming industry isn't changing like that. I mean, we've been that way with like app-based games for a long time, where we're just going to make shitty games that are monetized with in-game purchases, right?
Oh God, gotcha.
Every game now has in-game purchases, right?
Yeah,
that you can actually spend your own money. Yeah, microtransactions, right?
Insane.
And that was frustrating to see it develop into like major gaming spheres when that started coming over from like app-based games and things like that.
Oh yeah.
But
Destiny got that.
Yeah, every game did, right?
Every game has that microtransactions thing.
And there's no reason to say that, to expect that the large gaming industry won't follow those similar trends.
Oh, sure.
And that's not to say that all games are going to go away, that there's not going to be more Last of Us, that there's not going to be any more Legends of Zeldas and things like that. But they're doing the remaster remake thing, just like the film industry did.
Oh, God.
Which is, they just redid the Silent Hills. They've done all the Resident Evils. They've done, like everything's getting remastered.
There's a new Silent Hill coming.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But to be fair, if they're hyping it up, that's cool. But like Halo's getting all the remasters, right? So
cross-platform.
It's all cross-platform now. That's right. Yep. So I can't say it would be a surprising turn of events if that, to your point, is the current trajectory of the gaming industry writ large, of, hey, we're going to follow whatever the trend is, just like making more superhero movies because it's safe, making sequels because they're safe.
Yeah.
Right. And yeah, sure, maybe we'll only clear 50 million at the back end of it, but versus like maybe if we had a banger, we'd, do 200 million, but the risk of making that banger is so much greater versus the assuredness of we definitely can get 50 million off of this movie. Yeah. Right. So they're just going to go with the safe bet. We're just create another movie, shove it down your throat, whatever, And the game, same thing. What's the game industry doing right now? Okay, we got extraction shooters. Let's make an extraction shooter.
Ugh.
We can at least turn, 500,000 off of that.
Sure.
And then burn that down, and because we put 60,000 in production, or 400,000 in production, or whatever, right? So we clear 100,000, burn that game down, flip the next game, and now we'll make 250,000 on next. And you just kind of go through that churn and burn cycle of gaming. I mean, I could see how that would be the case.
I hate it though.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially when for me, like, look at the success of Legend of Zelda. I mean, look at Nintendo, right? Nintendo has been churning out the same game world for 50 years. Did Nintendo just have its 50-year thing? Or has it been longer than that?
Maybe. No, I don't think they've hit 50 yet, because they started in the 80s, I think. I don't think they were in the 70s.
I think it was the 70s.
When did Nintendo start?
I don't know.
Nintendo? How old are you?
I could be wrong.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe. A long time.
A long time.
Even if it's 40 years, that's a long ass time to be making.
Yes. Okay, you're right. But yeah,
Nintendo's been around for a long time.
Nintendo's been around for a long time.
So
and they have a formula that works, And granted, they're more niche.
Well, but I would also offer, when it comes to The Legend of Zelda, though, the game formats are different, because they spanned all of their different systems over the years, right? I mean, it's still Legend of Zelda, but if you look at, and I know that we're jumping a gap of time here.
It's like apples and oranges a little bit here, for sure.
Yeah, but even with the variety of the types of games, like some of it's Breath of the Wild, right? Some of it is the one you just got
Echoes
recently.
of Wisdom.
Yeah, Echoes of Wisdom, which is kind of a throwback to that kind of chibi style art and the
that,
more
like,
traditional
top-down
style, to Ocarina of Time, to all of the varieties of how you engage with the environment. Because they did the same thing. They've done the same thing with Mario for the same amount of time, right?
Yeah.
Where they've got, like Mario Tetris, basically, and like all the things, right? Whatever. But the point is to your point, is that it's the same place for that length of time. But I would offer that is, I think that's exclusively the domain of Nintendo.
I mean, yes, 100%.
Because Sega's not around anymore.
No, yeah.
I'm trying to think of, and none of the other old systems are either, right? And there's no IP. Like, even if you looked at, say, Halo, like, you've only engaged with Halo in the same style of game play.
Yeah.
There isn't the wild variety that you would get in, like, a Mario or a Zelda or something along those lines. So I think that's just the domain of Nintendo.
I mean, and that's why I said, when, it's kind of like comparing apples to oranges. But for me, it's like, I just don't understand canning something when it's clearly what the people want.
Well, that's corporate executive management, right?
Yeah. Well, and you made an
what do the shareholders want?
Yeah. Well, the shareholders can eat my whole ass.
Only if there's a profit margin in there. How much can they market that for? That's what they want to know. Yeah.
Well, and you made an interesting point, the other day, which I'm trying not to feed into it, because you said, well, what if it's just a big marketing ploy, right? Like, what if they're doing market research? What if they're testing the market? What if they have new Destiny content for us? Because we know Destiny content was in production when we got the news they were shutting down D2. We have Bungie developers that have spoken up and said, hey, I was working on this when I read that Destiny 2 was ending. Like, I was still making stuff for Destiny when I read that Destiny 2 was ending. So when you had said, like, hey, like, companies do this, I immediately was like, oh, a glimmer of hope. And I'm trying to not, because I don't know if I could handle, like, truly this being the end.
Yeah.
Well,
the press release that you sent me read a little nebulous. And
Yeah.
there was a little bit of, like, two-handed statements in there that could kind of be interpreted both ways of, like, hey, this is the end, but then it's like, maybe it's not.
Yeah.
So it is not beyond the realm of possibility, I think, that this could be an entire, market research thing of, hey, we're gonna down it. We're gonna see how do people respond to it. Okay, committing the resources to continue to develop this game may be worthwhile. also we as big corporation have other agendas and maybe other licenses that need attention, that need to be developed first before we move on to
fucking Marvel.
Whatever Marvel. Maybe
So
does Sony own
annoyed.
Blizzard now?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, cool. Because they just released a StarCraft board game or a miniatures war game,
Oh, okay.
and I'm just suspecting that maybe they're going to be making
Maybe
another
they're just
developmental
doing
push.
lots of acquiring. Well, and I mean, we saw that in the, state of play where there's a Wolverine game and there's some other Marvel like Street Fighter game, and then there were like 3 Marvel games. Oh.
We've been recording so long, the pump is running again.
Sorry, honey.
It's okay, that'll just be an outro. Easter egg, that shit. Clip it, send it. All right, so X-Men game, go.
So there was like 3 different Marvel games that they talked about at the state of play, as well as a new God of War game, and a new Tomb Raider. So Sony's revisiting these IPs that have been good. I'm not here to shit on God of War or Tomb Raider. I am shitting on Marvel because I'm just kind of sick of Marvel. Like, it's everywhere. Everyone's doing a Marvel thing, and okay, cool, but the superhero hype, I'm just bored with it. I'm bored with it. It's as someone who didn't grow up reading comic books that much, I don't have the same nostalgia necessarily, but I also think you can overdo nostalgia.
Well, market inundation. Well, yes, but our market inundation is also a thing,
it's
right?
Insane. Everybody's
it's
doing. It's fatiguing. That's exactly the way I would describe it. If I have to see one more stupid Marvel announcement, I'm like, oh my god, can it stop?
A few things there that I think are relevant to the discussion of the possibility of Destiny. One, Sony is known for
Destiny 1. I think you mean Destiny 3.
The future of Destiny, comma, pause.
Oh, I see.
First.
Perfect. Thank you for clarifying.
Let me rephrase that. First.
I just pushed my glasses up.
So Sony has a history and is showing a continued history of revisiting old IPs.
Sure.
That speaks volumes.
Everyone does that. Yeah.
Though they will probably get around to it eventually. Why? Because there's money to be made there.
Yeah.
Because nostalgia. 2, Sony has notoriously been in a long back and forth, not battle, but struggle with Disney for Marvel rights because they had X-Men back in the 2000s. That's why no X-Men movies were made solely by Marvel, right? Because they initially, I think, were set to expire in 2015 and extended to 18, 19, or 20, something along those lines. And they co-made those X-Men movies between Sony and Marvel / Disney in the later movies that came out. So there's been this process, and I think they still have a section of that IP agreement that is outside of film that they are still trying to capitalize on while they retain it.
Sure.
Right? So it's understandable that they are trying to capitalize on those kinds of things and probably have other timelines. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's the end, right? Because if they're still making a Lara Croft Tomb Raider, and Tomb Raider was Xbox One, right? PlayStation 1?
I don't even remember. I just remember it being really hard.
Yeah. I think it was PlayStation. That's you're talking 25 years ago.
When her boobs were square.
Square boobs. Yeah. Pixelated still. That was PS1. Yeah, it had to be PS1. So I think there's something to take away from that observation of the state of play that they just released. And you can't ignore 500,000 people being make the next fucking game.
It's unprecedented. Truly, someone was talking about it on Twitter or X or whatever. I'm not on Twitter. Which someone told me today, why the fuck are you not on Twitter? You should be using Twitter to market your shit. I'm like, oh, it's so exhausting.
And you're like, well, first off, Twitter doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. It's something else.
Because it was purchased by a twat.
It's Twatter now.
Twatter. It's just faces of fucking Elon Musk. Just pictures of him. Gotta be careful. I'm going to get shadow banned. They're legitimately banned. It was by Spotify and canceled my podcast. Anyways.
Bitch.
And he's going on the telecom system soon anyway, so.
Gross. What was I talking about? Oh, people on Twitter.
On X.
Yeah, on X. Talking about how truly the outcry in the Destiny community is unprecedented across video game history.
Yeah.
There has never been this much noise made about a game being ended.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
It's crazy. And I don't think there's any way that Sony could ignore that.
I just remembered another point to what you said earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure a God of War movie is in production, which would parallel with why they're doing another video game.
Another game, yeah. Sure. I mean, fine. The God of War games were good. I mean, they're good. They're good games. They are made well. They are fun to play. The stories are intriguing. The 20 minutes of gameplay that we got in the State of Play, good. I was like, this is pretty cool. Will I play it? Maybe. It's hard to want to play anything else because literally all I want to do is play Destiny.
So to that point, what do you think is your trajectory moving forward? Have you had enough time to process that? I mean, you've got the release on the 9th, which is, as the time of recording this, just a few days away.
Yeah.
So that will obviously rebalance things, which can obviously breathe life into it.
It will for a time.
Also, possibly a positive indicator because they listened to the community and pushed out the updates. Now, that might have been a Bungie thing. That might not have been a Sony oversight thing.
It's a Bungie thing for sure. Bungie usually has a pretty good eye on the temperature of the community, at least historically speaking. Now, management within Bungie over the last year has been horrible. And it has been reflected in the game and the content that we've had and Edge of Fate and Ass and Iron.
You never mentioned DP.
Oh, Desert Perpetual. Okay, so that was a good thing.
I had a whole joke when you were like, I was getting really excited and I was getting into it and I was like, was it during DP? And then I didn't get to use the joke because you never brought DP up.
I didn't bring DP up because I still have a little bit of trauma from contest mode Desert Perpetual and epic contest mode Desert Perpetual. But yeah, so like as much as I'm like totally shitting on Sony because I do think Sony has their thumb pressed down on Bungie because they own Bungie and that's what they're going to do. I cannot, Bungie is not blameless in this. Bungie has really fumbled Destiny in the last year. They have done a poor job listening to the community. They have done a poor job making shit that we want. And a lot of that is because there's been some really horrible management. Fucking Pete Parsons. There's been a name
like Pete Parsons has got to be bad.
There's been some really horrible management at the Bungie level too. So like this is a twofold thing. I think Sony made the final call and said, nah, nope. Either they didn't like what they were getting pitched, or they saw a better monetization track for the content that was being created.
Sure.
And they said, end it now. I don't know. You know, it's hard because there's not a lot of transparency. I don't know if it's because there's gag orders or NDAs or whatever. We're not getting a really clear picture of the future. They're really just they keep directing us back to like, hey, look at this, what we're giving you on June 9th. Look at this thing we're giving you on June 9th. Like, there's no talk of the future. And I don't know what that means. I could speculate for days.
Sure.
You know, but yeah, as of right now, June 9th.
All right.
This is it.
We'll see what comes after that.
Here's where I'm going to shamelessly plug. If you want to watch
you should
stream.
Where can they find you?
You can find me, beesknees_games on everything. Twitch, YouTube, TikTok.
But not X.
Not X. I don't think you can stream on X. Is that a thing?
No, I just meant you can't find you on X.
Oh, I'm not on X. Yeah. No. I'm only on Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok. I'm on Instagram, but Instagram's kind of dead.
Instagram's an old man's thing now. Instagram is the Facebook of our parents' generation.
Yeah, I tried, and Instagram just doesn't have the
chutzpah.
Yeah. So I would prefer, if you want to join me on stream sometime, hang out with me on Twitch. Twitch is the far superior streaming platform.
Mm-hmm.
TikTok is yucky, but it is a necessary evil. And YouTube, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing over there. So
pure chaos.
But yeah, beesknees_games.
And you got Discord. I
do have a Discord. You have to hop into a stream for my Discord link.
That's right. You got to get in with the goodies.
Yep. And my community is, I'm going to get emotional talking about my community because they are some of the most incredible humans I have literally had the pleasure of meeting in the last year. And I don't know, and it's because of destiny. You know, we all have a love of destiny, and that's what brought us all together. And it's not a huge community, but it is fucking fantastic. I really love all of those humans over there, and I'm just so grateful for all of the work that everybody puts in, from my mods to just my regular Discord members. It's really a special place.
Nice and tight.
Blech.
Blech feelings. I'm going to go paint in pink and purple and orange now. And you got cool swag.
I do have some cool swag that is all made. Like the logos and the art is all done by yours truly.
That's right.
So,
not AI, because fuck that.
Fuck AI, man. Fuck AI.
For multiple reasons.
Yeah, it's the worst. It's capitalism and AI are going to be...
And men.
And men. Well, who do you think made AI? It was a man. My voice cracked when I said it. I got so passionate.
Passionate. I was in corals and I don't know, what's a blue? What's a passionate color? What's passion?
A passionate
Good,
color?
put passionate color, what would it be?
A passionate color for me would be like a crimson.
Crimson.
Yeah. Like a cool tone red.
My weakness. Reds.
You like red.
I do like red.
You just don't see red very well.
Maybe that's why I like it. It's a forbidden fruit. Satan in the form of a snake came to Johnny and was like, hey, take a bite of this beautiful red apple. And I'm like, that looks kind of brown. I don't know. It might be rotten. I think I'm going to eat this grape over here. It's kind of purple.
I mean, fair enough.
I'm not colorblind. It's color impairment.
It is a color impairment.
Look at my miniatures. I can paint.
Actually, you can paint. Damn.
I mean, not really.
No, you can.
I just slap some paint on little dudes.
No, it's good
Sometimes
shit.
big dudes.
You bring stuff upstairs sometimes, and I'm like, holy shit, that's really good. Damn, babe. It's good.
So that's where you've been for 17 hours. Painting this 2-inch model.
What was that?
Why
What
do you
was that
paint all over your
movie where
face?
he like had to saw his arm off?
Saw?
No, he like fell into a canyon or something.
Oh, I was like, because they definitely did that in Saw.
Yeah.
That was 28 hours, 28 days, 28
hours?
days was not.
That was a zombie
That was a zombie movie, which they just made. Speaking of dipping back their toe into
Didn't
the
they do
well.
like 28 years later?
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I've heard it's pretty good.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's called
Okay.
28 Years, like the King of the Dead People or something. Like it's got some
Gross.
like secondary name. It's got like a secondary name. Oh, God, those movies are great. They were like revolutionary to the zombie genre.
That was a good genre of zombie movies, because I feel like we had 28 Days Later, and then we had the one with Will Smith.
Which has literally just had the name of just a second ago. iRobot. No.
No, that's not a zombie movie.
Independence Day. No.
No. With the dog.
Fresh Prince.
What is that movie called?
Yeah, it's something isn't it? I something?
I don't know.
With the dog. It's just him in New York.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Something man. Fuck.
This is another,
It's gonna bother me.
what was that actor that... Watkins? Christopher Walken.
Oh, Christopher Walken. I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about.
This is one of those moments. What is that movie called?
It's called Thank You for I Am Legend. See, I knew I was in the title.
Legend.
I Am Legend. Yes. It's not
yes.
Man. Men in Black. Those are other ones I forgot.
Oh, those are great movies.
Let's talk about somebody's discography, not discogs.
Yeah. But that
Well,
was a good time in zombie movies.
they were. They were until they weren't. Because that genre also got
played out.
It got played out real bad.
Oh,
That's
for
why
sure.
28 Days was so refreshing. Was because they were beating us over the head with a bunch of stuff.
Yep.
The Walking Dead was good until it wasn't.
It was good until it wasn't.
Until the Glenn episode, which we'll let that sleeping dog lie.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of stuff going on then.
Yeah,
I
that was a crazy time.
I was talking to Rodney recently about this, about the horror genre and how it kind of disappeared. And there were only a few
It's
people
still
that keep it
around, but it's
sort of,
it's
yeah,
like
it's different.
really intense. I feel like it has gone from horror to like torture porn,
Gore.
which I can't watch. I can't, and I honestly like the psychological thriller like has also gotten to like, wow, we're just watching trauma being played out like in extreme detail.
Speaking of trauma being played out in extreme detail and things that you enjoy, did you ever read House of Leaves?
Oh God, yeah. Twice actually.
Savage.
I loved that book. Also, though, it made me afraid in the daytime.
Yeah, no doubt.
I could not read. That was not a before bedtime book. That was
that should be a no. It's a no bedtime book.
That was a middle of the day in full bright sunlight. The sense of dread that I would get from reading that book, but it was so good. It was so well written. I loved it. I loved it on the reread too. So
Savage.
Yeah. Yep.
Well,
I've kept you for
thanks for hanging me out.
Quite a while, I think. I'm sorry. No, I'm not. I could keep talking, actually.
It's like, this is right about the normal length of time for my show.
Is it?
And second off,
Okay.
we're just going to go upstairs and have dinner and keep talking. So
I mean, fair. Fair. I
Anywho.
just, I feel like I spent a lot of time talking about Destiny, which I guess was kind of
that was the purpose.
that was the theme.
We have accomplished what we came here for.
Yeah.
And we got to play footsie a little.
I know. It's nice.
It's great.
Yeah.
All right.
It's weird to be like in this format with you, though. I will say.
You mean we don't usually talk to each other with headphones and microphones between us?
No.
No.
Well, and I think what's interesting for me is sitting like this with a microphone and the headphones. It puts me in kind of that like flow state when I'm streaming, where conversation feels a little bit easier. I don't know why. I don't know. I never in a million years would I think that you could put me in front of a microphone and I would feel good about it.
Mm-hmm.
But something has happened. Maybe it was always there to begin with. But I have
unlocked.
I have gotten to the point where I feel comfortable in front of a microphone, and it is actually easier for me to speak my opinions and my thoughts.
Do you feel a sense of empowerment?
Oh, 100%. 100%. As someone who my whole life has been constantly like talked over or like ignored, not maliciously, but I'm not a loud, boisterous, like I don't necessarily have a huge, big presence, you know? And there's definitely something about being in front of a microphone, especially like when I'm streaming and I can just mute somebody. When it's like, no, I'm talking now. I got the power. I don't really do that. I only do that like if I'm in a Discord voice chat and chat on stream is trying to talk to me, I will mute myself in the voice chat so that I'm not talking over my friends in Discord. But yeah, it's nice. It is empowering.
Well,
Yeah.
it's interesting because a lot of people are very self-conscious.
Well,
oftentimes.
you mentioned that earlier when we were talking about like keeping it above board. And you were like, oh, some people, they sit down in front of the microphone and they're like, oh, I got to fucking tune my shit up. And for me, I was thinking, oh, I sit down in front of the microphone and I can like really be myself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that is. It's weird.
Be yourself. No pun intended.
Buzz, bitch.
Yeah, so I think about people that I've worked with in the past who initially started very uncomfortable and they were like, I don't know what it's going to be like. And then they're just like, I could fuck with this.
Yeah. I
don't know. And I think, well, okay, I'm going to draw a completely pointless, not baseless, untested correlation here of the neurodivergent and give me space. But like, I don't think it is not uncommon. It's a double negative. It is not uncommon for people to not feel heard, or I believe, especially if they are neurodivergent, feel that they can express themselves either with acceptance and safety or just articulately, depending on what anyone's given version of, variety of spicy brain is. And so to be given a platform and to be given a space of like, hey, exactly what this podcast is about, right? Like, here's a safe space.
Yeah.
We can fucking talk about whatever. We can be genuine. We can be honest with each other. We can be transparent, right? Because that's what we're here about. No one's going to judge you for it. It's just us talking.
Yeah.
And then other people get to listen to that conversation,
And I think that also goes back to how we are not present just as people anymore,
Mm-hmm.
because you get into like a real world, like real time interaction with someone who likely doesn't have spicy brain. And
Fucking normies.
yeah, those normies. Not to say there's anything wrong with being normie. It's actually probably a lot easier. Sometimes I'm envious. But oftentimes people that are not in the spicy brain space, they just don't really, it's not that they don't care, but they just don't really want to invest in the amount of dialogue that I'm about to spew.
You're not ready for this word vomit.
They're just, when we get into a conversation, they just want the surface level, hi, how are you? Yeah, it's really nice weather. And I can't stand that level of conversation. I would rather just not talk to you at all.
Oh, 100%.
So,
Absolutely.
and that is the dichotomy of my life is I'm very content not talking to anybody. Like, I don't really need to talk to anybody. But when I do talk, hold my beer, watch this.
Well, it goes back to that, like that hyper fixation or the hyper
special interest.
Special
thing.
interest, yes.
Yeah.
That is very consistent with people in the
Yeah,
neurodivergent community.
For sure.
Of it's like, wow, you know a metric shit ton about 1982 Ford whatevers.
Oh, yeah.
Wheel bearings. Like
Oh, very specific.
very specific, hyper specific knowledge,
Yeah.
right? That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the other thing that I envision that makes this potentially, because it is empowering, you're right, absolutely, because it's also like, hey, you have an opportunity to have your voice heard and your opinion heard, and no one's going to be able to interrupt you, no one's going to be able to stop you from saying it unless you're being, censored by dictatorship. And if you are a neurodivergent, the social interaction of a conversation with another human being, normie or otherwise, is oftentimes very intimidating and difficult.
Oh, for sure.
Depending on how high your level of masking is. And even then, you're not being yourself, right? So, like, it's difficult.
Oh, no, I totally
difficult.
dissociate. Like, if I have to have, like, a surface level conversation with somebody out in the real world, like, I like, plug in the autopilot and...
Just like, I'm just going to check out for a while.
Yeah.
Tell my brain stories, and then I'll check back in if you say something interesting.
I do tell my brain stories all the time.
I think, one, that's beautiful. And two, that's... I think the value in something like this and where someone can find the comfort and the empowerment is to be like, oh, hold on a second, right? And to your point, and what you've done, which is crafted very well through intentionality and also through the happenstance of good people, a community of individuals who I think nurture that space.
Nurture and police that space.
Yeah, policing is a very good word, even though the word policing is not popular. But yes, it does need to be. It needs to be protected, right? Because there are people that will come in and try and ruin a beautiful thing.
Well,
right?
and I'm very clear that it is everybody's responsibility. If you come into my community, we hold each other accountable for our actions, on and offline. So, like, I'm very clear about that for sure. And I don't think enough community spaces hold their community members to a level of accountability that is required to keep a space safe, right?
This is going to go deep. I don't know that I've believed that we are in a space of accountability currently in society, generally speaking, writ large, like at large, right?
Yeah.
Like not, I mean,
you can get online and say anything you want with little to no consequences.
Yeah. And people are so leery of standing up for something.
Confrontation.
I was going to say, part of it, I think, is the lack of like comfort with confrontation, which feeds directly into, not to necessarily stereotype, but feeds directly into a lot of neurodivergence, right? Which is the confrontation is intimidating because there's a social tension there, right? An unknown, something I'm unfamiliar with, whatever the case is. So a lot of people are uncomfortable with that to begin with. But then also we live in a society of everyone suing everyone over everything, right? So, and that's not to say that people aren't wronged and that is an appropriate response, right?
Yeah, sure.
But just like everything, it is abused, and that makes people leery of like, well, I can't speak up. Cancel culture is real and cancel culture needs to exist for a reason, but cancel culture has also been abused, right?
Oh, sure.
So there's all kinds of consequences and fallouts from saying, hey, we're going to police our own, and like we're going to stand up for what's right, because eventually somebody might perceive that as exclusionary, as gatekeeping, as whatever the thing is, when it's not at all. It's just like, no, you're coming here being a piece of shit and a douche, and like that's not what we're about. So fuck off, and that's your right to say, because it's your space. But then unfortunately our spaces are all managed by capitalist overlords who will come in and be like, shadow ban.
Fuck you, Sony.
Way to bring it back to Sony.
So I have a thing going where if you subscribe to my channel on Twitch, I will send a mean postcard to Sony. And if we hit 100 new subscribers by the end of June, I will send a batch of 100. So grand total 200 mean postcards to Sony. All
with your art. Just
with my art.
Big old dick on there. Just a fuck you, Sony. Here's a giant doodled cock.
I don't think I'm going to send them dick pics.
Probably not.
I don't think the Postal Service would actually let that happen.
I don't know.
You don't
Coffin culture was a thing.
But
and
fair,
they sent a whole lot of dick art on boxes through the mail.
You're right. You're right. I just don't know, like.
So maybe just some postal service as well.
Maybe.
Well, no, we'll get back. You know what, listeners? What do you think? 1, should she send dick pics? 2, to be clear, to Sony, not you. And 2, because she's got a giant dick tattoo, so she could.
I do.
And
it's not on my dick.
True, that's true. That would be very uncomfortable.
I don't have a dick, but if I did, it wouldn't be
on the dick.
Yeah.
It's. I think putting a tattoo on your dick,
a tattoo of a dick,
a bad idea.
I knew a guy.
I know. And it's still a bad idea. I don't care if
it's wild.
Yeah.
They have to like stretch the skin.
Yeah, that's how it works. Because it's stretchy.
It's like a 2-man job. I'm telling you.
I mean, it depends on.
You have to have someone stretch the dick skin.
Yeah.
And then the guy tattoos it.
And then it just looks like a slobby pile of nothing.
That's what I don't understand. How do you? So like, I don't understand. That's the thing I don't understand. How do you make it look like anything? Because dicks have a lot of variety between when they're flaccid and when they're hard.
Flaccid's a great word.
Flaccid is a great word.
I'm just thinking about it coming off like.
It feels good to
flaccid,
say too.
Yeah. So, well, one, obviously it'd be custom designed for the dick, but.
So wait. So during your consultation, your tattooer is like, all right, let me see your dick. Okay. Soft dick. Now go beat it and make it hard. Let me see a hard dick.
See a hard dick. You gotta know what you're designing, right?
Okay. All right. I mean, fair.
And the other thing that I'm really wildly curious about. So there's a phenomenon that will happen in certain circumstances where your dick will fall asleep.
Yeah, this is crazy to me.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
So your dick will fall asleep, right? And so then you like get up and have to walk around, and you've got like numb dick, like it's like gotta wake back up, right? So the only thing I could think about is if I were getting my dick tattooed, at some point in time, the vibration of that needle, the gun, the vibration is going to simulate sleepy dick.
No, I don't think so.
And then you start getting hard in the middle of your tattoo.
So much agonizing pain that
it would just wipe it out.
I don't think that you would have that problem.
Yeah. I mean, it depends. Everything's a thing. No judgment here.
I mean, no judgment. Everything is a thing.
I mean, I don't want any tattooing on my dick. That's my stomach was bad enough. I don't need my fucking dick tattooed. That's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So now you need to go track down somebody for your podcast to talk to them about getting their dick tattooed.
Not getting it. Do they already have? Hey,
you need to go find someone with a dick
Yeah.
tattoo and have them talk about their experience.
I'll go down to the shop and I'll ask. Hey, buddy.
Anybody.
Do you know anybody with a dick tattoo?
Yeah. I need to talk to them on my podcast.
Okay. Inquiring minds want to know.
Special interest.
So, important question.
Okay.
Did he get numb? No. That was to the dick tattoo guy, not to you.
Oh, fair.
I've already asked you lots of important questions.
You have.
Yeah.
We've covered a lot.
Yeah, if we're rambling pretty hard now, we should probably go eat dinner.
Yeah, I was like, the spaghetti noodle has...
The spaghetti squash has spun back up. Gonna go eat a boiled chicken and spaghetti squash. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll catch you on the flip side. Later.
Bye. Oh, we're recording? Oh, well, you didn't tell me we were recording.